Hi everybody, I'm Jack and this is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me again today and I hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you are. I'll get right to it. As you can see from the title, the subject of this video is comfort food. Something about that word irks me a bit, and it always has. Even before I got into this lifestyle, I wanted to look into, understand, and go farther with the concept of food as fuel and how we've gotten away as a species from the concept of food as fuel. Food has become almost everything but fuel. And I hear this word all the time, comfort food, or emotional eating. And it is something to deal with, and I'm sure to some extent, even though I say I don't understand it, I know I did it, because it's just probably a natural reaction. We don't realize at the time until we do become aware. When we become aware, we're aware. That's the thing about becoming aware. It might sound like a good thing, but don't become aware if you don't want to be aware, because once you become aware, you have to act in certain ways. Your body just won't let you do anything else. So sometimes if you want to live a certain way, ignorance probably is the best. Anyhow, comfort foods. Why do we turn to food, and what is the root of this? Like, why are we turning to food as a source of comfort? And what can we do to change this? Well, first of all, for me, like I say, I'm always just sharing my journey. I don't ever want to preach. I don't want to ever say that, oh, what I'm doing, this is what you need to be doing. This is what you need to be doing. This is what's going to work. I'm just kind of showing you the experiment. This is my thing, and you can take that as an example, see how it works for me, apply it to your life. But for me, I mentioned this, I think maybe in the last video dealing with something, I always want to have the choice. And I want to always be in control of what's going into my mouth. To me, and this is just for me, I'm not judging anybody, I'm not calling anybody else anything. For me, it's a weakness within myself when I put food into my body for any reason other than I have decided and made a conscious decision to put this food into my body because I know this food is good for my body and I know what it's going to do. For me, I don't like the weakness of letting my body or letting my unconscious self, I don't know what it is, decide, oh no, you're having this craving, and you have to give in to that craving. I don't like that. So one of my biggest things is I'm actually, as far as taste goes, I do these videos and we talk about making things taste better, and I kind of have the conflict because on the one hand, yeah, I want to be able to help as many people as possible, and not a whole lot of people will come to this lifestyle, if there's not some tasty stuff to kind of replace what the tasty bad stuff that they've had in the past. So I'm always doing that too. But my ultimate goal would be to move past the whole taste factor of food, or the whole social factor of food, or the whole comfort factor of food, and just be almost to the point of being a machine. Like just using food as fuel and putting the optimal fuel in your body and letting, if things taste good, I think you can do both. Here's the thing, I'm not trying to say they have to be mutually exclusive. I think you can do both, but I think for me, my focus, I want to keep moving on towards my focus being putting the optimal fuel in my body. And that's not going to come by thinking about comfort foods, by listening to cravings, by scratching that little itch inside of a specific taste or whatever. So comfort foods in general, for me, I don't really like that term. But we are human beings, we're not robots, so we kind of have to kind of play little psychological tricks. We have to trick this mind at times. So I think what we really have to do is we have to rethink comfort foods. What are our comfort foods? Now, as I mentioned depending on when they come out, I never know. Like on the weekend, sometimes I'll make 4 or 5 videos, and I don't know if I'm going to release the first one I made first necessarily, but I just made a video, and I was talking about, the choices we make, and we do have we have a choice of what we put into our mouth. And I was also talking about, educating yourself and learning how to prepare food, because I think if we're educated and know how to prepare food, and I don't want to contradict myself by saying, okay, I'm not saying the taste is unimportant. I'm just trying to say I'd like to put the functionality ahead of the taste. But I think when you learn how to create this food and how to put tasty combinations together, then you have the best of both worlds, and then you tend not to have to drift off to this comfort food that's not good for you. Because as I'm learning how to make more and more dishes, I'm finding that my so-called comfort food now is as clean as can be. It's just that it's different. It's something different from my day-to-day. And I think psychologically that's really all most people need in their quote-unquote comfort food. It's just something different, something out of the day-to-day, something with a different taste, a little bit more appealing. But there's no reason that this cannot be, your comfort food cannot be perfectly clean food that is guilt-free. Like yesterday I was making some, I was looking at some different recipes, and I'm like, I'm bored because all during the week I'm busy, and I don't tend to do like a lot of the people do, and they make me mad only because I know I'm lazy. They do all their preparing food early in the morning before they go to work. Me, I'll just rock on bananas and orange juice during the day all week, and then just make a green soup or a salad at night. Well, on the weekends I have a little bit more time, and I'm getting a little antsy, and I want something a little bit different. So, yesterday I threw together a totally different dinner. I was reading an article from a website, and I was watching some YouTube videos, saw a few recipes I wanted to try out, so I made these recipes and actually just kind of blended them together, made some nori rolls out of them. And for me, I feel like I ate comfort food yesterday. I had a big dinner yesterday. I had like 5 or 6 nori rolls. But, and here's the big kicker, in my comfort food of my very enjoyable letting go on a Saturday afternoon, eating something I don't normally eat, I had half an avocado as my fat yesterday. So I actually had a low-fat day. I splurged. I used to call it splurging, but to me splurging is when you kind of do something, you give yourself the permission to do something that's not really good for you. Well, I splurged on something that was perfectly good for me. I won't go over the menu, the recipes or the menu again, because you can see that in the other video, but I had cauliflower, I had broccoli, I had beet, I had carrot, I had, what was in those dressings? I had corn and red pepper dressing. I had a hummus made out of, what did I put in there? Cauliflower and lemon juice and just the avocado. So yeah, it was a very tasty, it just really, the little bit of the saltiness of the nori wraps and the sea flavor, or the salty sea taste, got all my cravings. So yes, I had some comfort food yesterday afternoon, and it was perfectly healthy. So, I don't know. That's what I would recommend to you. If you're having problems with this comfort food, or what's called emotional eating, and if you're turning towards bad things, well then, by all means, learn how to make some treats. Even if it's not optimal for eating in your day-to-day life, kale chips. Make some healthy kale chips. When I make them for other people, I do put some oil in there. I put a fair amount of sea salt, but they're still way healthier, 10 times, 100 times, 1,000 times healthier than chips or whatever you're going to get in the store, or whatever your healthy food. That's just one example. Whatever your thing, if it's sweet, if you got that massive sweet tooth, then you got to get the dates out. You got to learn how to make some really good sweet smoothies. You've got to learn how to come up with your own comfort food, your own healthy version of a comfort food. And that would be, and that's all, I'm not going to, you've got to I'm just giving you an idea to play around with in your head. Okay, if you need the comfort food, if you do the emotional eating, okay, you need to the first thing you need to do is you need to sit down and be honest with yourself, and what is your weakness? If sugar's your weakness, well then you need to work on some substitutes that are going to be go-tos when you have that craving or when you think you need comfort food. If it's something salty, if it's something heavier or starchy, you do start playing, do a little research, see what you got to do to replace that bad comfort food you like with a healthy alternative to it. Anyhow, I hope you like this video. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. I hope you'll subscribe to the channel, and I hope you have a beautiful day. See you later. Peace.